In this video, I'm going to give you 6 more rules that beginners often get wrong in Kill Team. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. So, as Kill Team is still a relatively new game, there are still a lot of rules that are causing some confusion. And not just for beginners now, but these rules will probably crop up again for new players months and months to come. So I thought I'd go over 6 more rules that beginners often get wrong. If you found these rules useful, then why not consider subscribing to see more Kill Team videos from me. Psychic powers. During the psychic phase, players who have psychers in their Kill Team can choose one of those psychers to try and cast their psychic power. If you have multiple psychers in your Kill Team, you can choose any one of them to be the model that attempts to cast their psychic power. However, you can only attempt to cast one psychic power per turn and from only one model. You can't attempt to cast one psychic power from each of your psychers. Grenades. When you fire a grenade weapon or you throw a grenade, it's worth remembering that you do not suffer the -1 to hit penalty for being at long range. Also, don't forget, you can only shoot or throw one grenade in total in the shooting phase, not one grenade per model. Shooting pistols. If during the shooting phase, you're engaged within 1 inch of an enemy model, you can still shoot your pistol should you have one. The only restrictions to this are you must shoot the closest model, and you can't fire your pistol if you charged or were charged in this turn. It's also worth noting that you can still shoot an enemy model within 1 inch with a pistol if you have a friendly model within 1 inch of that enemy too. It doesn't count when shooting pistols at close range. You can then go on to the fight phase and fight in close combat with your melee weapons. Wounding and injury rules. When a model's wounds are reduced to 0 by an attack, the player controlling the attacking model gets to roll the injury dice. If a model's wounds are reduced to 0 and there are still remaining further attacks that would have caused damage, so for example from a rapid fire 1 weapon which would shoot 2 shots, the first shot would reduce a 1 wound model to 0, the second shot could potentially still cause further damage, but in this instance any extra damage is ignored and the player controlling the attacking model rolls 1 injury dice. If a player's model is reduced to 0 wounds by a weapon which has a multiple damage output, then in this instance, the player controlling the attacking model rolls the number of injury dice equal to the damage output of that weapon. So for example, if a model has 1 wound and it's hit with a weapon that does d6 damage and you roll 5 for the damage, the player controlling the attacking model would roll 5 injury dice and must choose the highest result. For all other instances where a model may be reduced to 0 wounds, such as falling from a building or an exploding plasma gun, the person controlling the injured player rolls the injury dice. Obscured models. When checking to see line of sight to see if a model is obscured or not, we should only take into account the head, body and limbs of both the firing and target models. Anything that protrudes from the model, such as an aerial from a backpack, a weapon in a model's hand, or even the base, should not be considered. Building your roster. When playing Kill Team under match play rules, you build a command roster of which to pull your Kill Team from. This command roster can have up to 20 models and has no limit on the number of leaders, specialists, or points. They must, however, all share the same faction keyword. Once the mission has been selected, you will then pick your 100-point kill team from your command roster. It's at this point that the restrictions come into play. Those restrictions are only 1 leader, up to 3 specialists, and no exceeding the max allowed for any particular type of model. This means you can tailor your kill team to the mission you're about to play and enables another layer of tactics when pulling from a 20-man command roster down to a 100-point kill team. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.